The Knicks are looking to finish their season strong at the All-Star break. They sit alone at 6th in the Eastern Conference. But can they move up? Let's discuss with New York Post sports reporter Zach Braziller, who joins me now. Zach, I got to ask you this. Are you disappointed that Jericho Sims and Julius Randle didn't bring home any hardware from the dunk contest and the three-point shootout? Are you disappointed in that?
As long as they didn't get hurt, I think nobody who likes the Knicks should be disappointed. That's all that matters about this weekend. Nobody gets hurt.
Yes, everybody comes back healthy for the last stretch of the season. So, Zach, with the Knickerbockers 6 games over 500 right now, they may have shocked some people who thought at best that they were a play-in team. What went right for New York over their first 60 games this season?
It's a few things. First of all, health. Randall hasn't missed a game. Brunson only missed 4 games. RJ, I believe, only missed 7. They've really had great health luck outside of Mitchell Robinson. You look at some of these other teams they're battling with, and they've had guys missing a lot, key guys missing a lot more games. Obviously, Brunson and Randall just being absolutely fantastic this year has been a big part. But also, it's the rest of the Eastern Conference. We thought this was going to be a loaded conference, but you have teams like the Bulls, like the Heat, the Hornets obviously have been a mess. So the league isn't quite as deep as we thought. The Knicks have taken advantage. And look, right now they're in a great spot. They're in 6th place. They're 2 games behind the Nets for 5th. I think they have a very good shot at getting that 5th seed. They still get the Nets once. They get the Heat 3 more times. So it's really all in front of them to end up, finishing 5th, which to me would be a great year.
Right. You just talked about that, the Knicks being 2 games back of the Nets for the 5th seed in the East. Do you think that they can move up in the standings over the final 22 games?
I do. I look, I don't even think we've seen the Knicks' best yet. You have Robinson coming back. We all know he's the key to their defense. Josh Hart has been a fantastic add. He's really given them a jolt off the bench. And then look, RJ is going to figure it out. We always see it. He struggles at times, but then he gets it going. I expect Barrett to kind of find his game a little bit like he did in November and December. I think the Knicks are going to be – I don't even think we've seen their best. The schedule is tough, but it's not as tough as it was. They're just coming off a stretch of playing 12 games, 8 of which are against winning teams, and they went 8-4, in that time. I think the Knicks are going to finish 5th. They're going to play the Cavs in the first round, which would obviously be an absolutely fascinating series.
Yeah, it would be a fascinating one that I'm sure Knicks fans will be pumped up for. And Zach, you know this, that within a season, expectations can shift depending on how a team does. What are realistic expectations for this Knicks team that could be playoff bound here?
Look, I think it's the expectation right now is just to finish in the top 6. There's no reason they shouldn't. They're to me, they're better than the Heat. They're better than the Nets. They should finish 5th. As long as they, can kind of take care of business here, beat the teams they're supposed to beat, find a way to beat some of these better teams. Look, you ever say, if Brunson gets hurt or Randall gets hurt, that changes things. But right now, as we stand, I think the Knicks should be a top 6 team. And then, you see what happens in the playoffs. We came in this year saying if they made the play-in, that would be a decent year. If they make the top 6, no matter what happens, to me, it would be a success. It would be 2 out of 3 years in the playoffs. And now they're really starting to build kind of a baseline of what the expectations are, and you go from there.
Yeah, I think Knicks fans would not be too displeased in going from there with making the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. We'll see how it all plays out over the final 22 games of the season. That is Zach Braziller, New York Post sports reporter. Enjoy the rest of the All-Star break, Zach. We'll talk soon.
Hey, as long as nobody gets hurt, Knicks fans should be happy.
I agree. I agree with that. Be well, man. Thank you.
All right.